Welcome back to the SEN WA studio out here at Optus Stadium. It has been a very tough start to the season for the West Coast Eagles. They're a 0-4. They've gone straight from Western Sydney to Adelaide to get ready for Gather Round, and their football manager, Gavin Bell, joins us on the show. Gavin, welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Duff. Thanks for having me.
Mate, tell us about the club's movements. When did you fly to Adelaide, and where are you staying at the moment?
Yeah, so we took off after the game, as we normally would do, headed to the airport Sunday evening, and staying in Adelaide in the centre of the city. And right now I'm standing out at Unley Oval, the home of Sturt, and our training session's just about to get underway.
How is the mood in the camp? There's been talk of senior player disquiet because of the Oscar Allen mea culpa late last week.
No, the mood. Well, disappointed with the outcome of the game, and obviously we didn't want to be 0-4. But the mood is one of growth and a mindset of trying to get better. We understand that we've got a lot of work to do. The players are all on board of that, and we're just looking to stick together, spend this time together a week on the road, continuing to forge really strong relationship stuff so that we can continue to help each other improve. Do
you feel like the club has been able to move on from the events involving Oscar last week? And just before we move on from that subject, did Oscar want to do what he did and make that public apology, or was it something the club required him to do?
So have we moved on? Look, we moved on once Oscar had his opportunity to speak to the media on Thursday. Our position hasn't changed, Duff. We weren't looking for him to do anything else other than train well, get back into form. That was our position. So nothing has changed from that light.
It bothered me that he used the word ashamed in that press conference, Gavin. I don't think he's got anything to be ashamed about. Clearly, it's embarrassing when something like this spills into the public arena. Has the club sort of counselled him and supported him on that? Because I just felt that was an unhealthy emotion for your captain to be feeling about something like this.
Totally agree with you, Duff. We thought, those that know Oscar, he's an emotional guy, he's a sensitive guy, and he's very caring of those around him. And I think just the moment he used that word, and that's not something that we feel he should feel, but we've talked to him about that. Minnie addressed that in the press conference, and with Oscar, that we understand that he might be slightly embarrassed and disappointed that whatever happened got into the public arena. But from our perspective, there's nothing to be ashamed of, and we'll just continue to support Oscar.
Do you need more from your senior players? There's been a few bits of footage highlighted on football shows over the past couple of days, efforts that were less than ideal from some of your senior players. Has it been put to the senior players that it is time for them to stand up and really lead the younger cohort?
Oh, there's certainly a number of our senior players that aren't playing at their maximum, that's for sure, Duff, and we'll continue to put our work around them, whether it's in meetings, with their one-on-ones with their coaches, and in particular on the training track to get ourselves back and get those guys back into playing the footy that they're capable of. So, it starts on the training track. It doesn't just click your fingers and all of a sudden you're back playing well, as you know. It's about getting to work and making sure that you're really diligent in everything you do to give yourself the best chance to perform.
How is Oscar bearing up, Gavin? It's been a tough start to the season for him. He's a very fine player. He hasn't been able to hit form so far this year. How is his mood?
No, he's been quite positive and optimistic. Whilst like the other senior players, disappointed they're not impacting games that they would like to. But as a collective and as a leadership group, they're sticking together. They're doing the work as a new team, and I guess we also understand the fact that we've played some pretty good sides, Duff, in our first 4 rounds. We know we've got a lot of work to do, and they'll lead the charge to help us get better and to close the gap on the opposition.
Who will come over from Perth, or who will fly over from Perth to join the squad ahead of the game against Carlton this weekend?
Yeah, well, Jake Waterman and Jack Hutchison arrived last night. all things going well, and once he's medically cleared, we'd be hopeful that Liam Ryan will be on his way over. And yeah, they're probably the main ones. We kept a few guys here during the week. Matty Flynn will also be part of that conversation given his performance on the weekend.
No chance that someone like Bo Allen would fly over and maybe make an AFL debut this week?
I wouldn't say no chance, but just a quick look we had this morning. We'll just continue to work through what's best for the team and also what's best for Bo. The report came back that he'd played a good, strong game down at East Fremantle, so we'll have a bit more of a connection in with the Waffle with our development coaches this afternoon. Given that yesterday they had their training session and review last night, so we'll get some more updates from them and then let the coaches and the match committee go to work on picking the best team to give us a chance to win against Carlton.
From the outside, it looks like this is a season that has to be about discovery and development of younger players. And to that end, you must be pleased with the form of Archer Reid, and you must have been pleased with the debut of Tom Gross at the weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt that this year is about giving opportunity to all the players on our list, and in particular for Minnie as our new senior coach to learn and understand the players that he has at his disposal to use and also to help develop. So, yeah, been pleased with some of the young guys. Tommy Gross was a solid debut. Archer Reid's been really pleasing with what he's doing. We've seen growth in Tyrell Dua over the last couple of games. Ryan Marrick down back. So there's some positives in amongst some of the challenges that we've experienced, that's for sure. But we're really clear on the path we need to forge, Duff, in terms of developing young guys and building a squad that's capable of winning a premiership.
Question from Adam. Is Tim Kelly's spot in doubt? He's added to the question. Surely it is.
Look, all of our guys, it's trying to find the right balance of when they're out of form, do they go back to the Waffle and find form? Do we support them through the AFL team to find form? So it is a real balance there. We know we can't just play all the kids up against the AFL teams. So it's trying to strike the right balance there. I think Tim would acknowledge he's not playing as good as he can, but he also is one of the senior players amongst the group of them that aren't playing at their full strengths at the moment. And our job is our coach's job, I should say, is to give them the best chance to get back to playing to their strengths and impacting games.
Can you talk us through the decision to play Sandy Brock on Jesse Hogan? And I thought Sandy looked like a player who is capable of playing AFL footy, but it was a big call, probably one of the biggest calls that Andrew has made so far this year, to put a first gamer on the Coleman medalist. And also, as a follow-up to that question, how do you review his performance? Because there was a lot of contests that he did well in, but obviously at the end of the day, he's conceded 9 goals.
Yeah, I think context is key for all of that. There's some passages of play where Jesse Hogan, being a Coleman medalist, is just too good for him at this stage in his career. There's other times when Sandy wasn't able to be part of that contest because of other things happening up the field. So it'll be a balanced review. To debut against the Coleman medalist and to have the ball coming in like it was at times from their very explosive and damaging midfield was a challenge. So again, he's another one that he did do some really good things for us on the weekend, and it can't. The days of, well, Sandy just got 9 kicked on him and it's all on Sandy, that doesn't exist. It's a team aspect. There'll be elements for him to learn playing against a really strong and very, very good forward. So he'll learn from that. And yeah, again, it ties into your point earlier, Duff, about us and Minnie in particular, exploring the list, understanding what he's got, having good conversation with Harry Edwards about the things he wants him to work on and improve on. And we'll reassess all the roles and so on as the week unfolds.
Question from Brits. Can you please ask Gavin if he thinks we've hit rock bottom yet?
Look, what I would say to that, Duff, is we came into the season knowing we've got a lot of work to do. We're transitioning our list. We've got, over the last 2 years, we've got 20 new players into our squad. We're a young team. We were the youngest on the weekend by a fair margin. A fair degree of games experience the Giants had over us as well per player. So I wouldn't say we've hit rock bottom, Duff, but what I would say is we acknowledge we've got a lot of work to do. We're exploring our list, and we want to build a team that's going to play finals in the future. So there is going to be a bit of pain along the way. We understand that, and I think we've been fairly open with that, with our discussions through the media and even internally.
Reese wants to know, would you consider asking the AFL for an assistance package similar to North Melbourne, that is end of first round picks?
We haven't had those conversations yet. We're really focused in on the players that we do have, and working through their strengths, their best roles, and exploring what else they can do for us on the field. That's been our focus at the moment, Duff.
Matt from Perth has obviously gone to Adelaide, or going to Adelaide for Gather Round, wants to know, are you having a captain's run, and when and where would that be?
We are having a captain's run. What I will do, Duff, is when I get off the phone, I will text you through where that is, and then I'll let you announce that, because I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
No worries. Lots of questions coming through, on the Harvey Norman Busselton text line. Ben wants to know about your NGA prospects, Gavin. How are they tracking? And how do you prioritise getting the games into youngsters? I think I speak for most supporters when I say that we can cop big losses if the direction is clear and the effort is there.
Yes, so first part to the NGA, we've got 4 or 5 guys that we're keeping a really close eye on. From memory, 2 of the boys were in the sort of AFL Academy squad, so there's certainly some talent there in that group of guys, and we've also got Banners' young guy coming through too. We're in terms of father-son potentially. So there's certainly some talent there. Our recruiting staff are out watching and also working within the waffle clubs and the talent managers there to help improve them and keep track of them and how they're progressing. And the second part of the question was around the development of the younger players. Yeah, it's a real balance with what we do. We want to give guys opportunity. Tommy Gross coming up against the midfielders that is up on the weekend. Yeah, it's a real challenge for a kid to go from playing AAC Cup into playing against one of the best and most dynamic midfields in the competition. But it's about learning and it's about growth for the players and also us as a footy staff, understanding where everyone's at.
Another one from Brits, Gav, just before I let you go. How confident are you in keeping Oscar and Harley?
Yeah, we would love to keep both of those players. At the end of the day, we'll keep working through with their player agents and the players themselves. I'd like to think that they're both part of us for the long term. So that's our ambition at the moment. But we also understand there's other factors at play. But certainly both players we see in our future and an important part of the progress that we make up the ladder and back into being a finals team in the years to come.
Gavin, thanks for joining us on the show today. I know you're squeezed with your schedule on a Tuesday morning, so it's great that you come on the show early and manage to fit in time with us. Thanks for your thoughts on how the club is travelling at the moment.
Yeah, no worries, Duff, and I'll send through the captain's run details when I get off, mate.
All right, we'll air them later in the show. Thanks, Gavin. Gavin Bell, that is the West Coast Eagles General Manager of Footy. Give us your thoughts. 0487 736 736. That is the Harvey Norman Busselton text line. 13 12 55 is the Bowra and Dede open line. Before we head to the break, don't miss out on seeing NRL action at its very best. 4 teams, 2 blockbuster games, 1 huge day, thanks to Optus Stadium. We'll be back with more after the break.